Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Threesome Fantasy Premier League podcast. I'm Phil. I'm here with Mike and Anthony. We're going to do something slightly different this week because we haven't got a game week to review. We've got some listener questions. We're going to rattle through maybe 5 of them. Then we've got a game, a quiz between Mike and Ant to decide whose captain gets picked by a listener, which is very exciting. And then we've got a few more listener questions to round off. Does that excite you, Mike?
Incredibly so. Yes, very excited.
It's a lovely salmon colour jumper you're wearing there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was an investment made a couple of years ago, and I've only been able to muster up the courage to wear it during lockdown because of course I'm not going anywhere. It's a great shame that you hadn't taken a similar attitude to that jumper you're wearing.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I know it's very Easter, very spring.
There's a one black sheep. That's the joy
wow.
of it. There's a jumper with sheep on. Anthony, how are you?
For listeners, sorry, just for listeners of the pod, Phil has a garish, some garish knitwear covered in sheep.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
At least I don't look like every other person walking down the street. I am desperate for a haircut though.
We can tell.
If I could just segue, if anyone listening has long hair and has any tips on how to put it up without feeling like they've got a massively bruised head by the end of the day, please do get in touch. And how are you?
Yes, I am very well, thank you. I'm just trying to work out which of you two boys looks the most beautiful. Mike with his salmon top and you with your, well, I don't know what you are, mate, to be honest, but you look lovely.
I mean, my hair looks like a floppy-eared dog.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no getting away from it, but I'm having it down for comfort rather than style today.
The beard's nice, though. I'll give you that.
Not what the wife says, but
okay, good.
But I'll take your compliment. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, boys, no game week to review, so we can kind of very quickly go over the international break. Are you enjoying that?
No, not really. No.
Cool. Well, that's conclusive. Let's get to some questions then.
Please.
So those who maybe don't listen regularly may not have heard pretty much the only podcast we've done of any use where we looked at the end of season fixture run-in a couple of weeks ago. The teams that we looked at there, are they teams that you're now targeting? So they were Arsenal, Chelsea, Burnley, Liverpool and Wolves. They were the teams we scored them out of 10 their run-in, and they were the teams which we kind of said, yep, those are the teams to go for. Is that your plan now, Mike?
Yeah, I think it will be. It just so happens that, and maybe actually it was no. Yes, I am. If I rewind a couple of weeks ago, I made 6 changes going into a game week where I was only going to have, I think, 6 players playing. So it was a bit mad, really. But my thinking was that actually looking to the long term. So actually, if I go into this week, I think I might have mentioned this last time out, but I'll just quickly mention my team. I've got 4 string off for Southampton, not so much with fixtures in mind, but Azpilicueta and Mount from Chelsea. They're at home to West Brom. I've got Mings of Villa. He's at home to Fulham. Now, I would suggest moving Villa assets out in a few weeks' time because it looks a bit ropey thereafter. But Digne, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, triple blue on Merseyside for me there.
Really?
Yeah. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. So, up top. Digne at the back. I've got double on Spurs, Bale and Kane. But that's the leftovers really from the game week previous. Rafinha again, he's a hangover, and Lingard just because you can't ignore him at the moment for the price he is. So the teams they're playing are Burnley, West Brom, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Sheffield United, Newcastle.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
Pretty winnable on paper, isn't it?
This feels like it could be. If they're not all too knackered from the international break and we just see a lot of kind of low-scoring, lethargic games, it could be my best week of the season.
Oh, I can't wait to clip
that.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say that's what it's going to be.
And can you tell me how many points you reckon you're going to get?
Oh, 100 plus.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll be a
100%.
Centurion for sure.
Cool.
For sure.
Anthony, how are you feeling about those teams? Have you got many of those in your team at the moment? Because you've already played your wild card, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, what I should be potentially be worried about is I have a very similar team to Mike, from what he's just described, which is probably never a good thing. I mean, I very much kind of, my way of doing FPL is very much week to week. I don't necessarily get the spreadsheets out and look weeks in advance, I have to say. But yeah, certainly in terms of this week, I'm very similar to Mike. I mean, in terms of my players and their games, their hardest one on paper is Cresswell of West Ham, who's got Wolves away. Other than that, very similar to Mike. You know, Fulham at home, Brighton at home, West Brom at home, Palace at home, Sheffield United at home, and Newcastle away. So got Harry Kane sat there as captain at the moment. So probably depends how much he plays tomorrow night for England, which I would imagine he's going to play 90 minutes, as this is arguably England's hardest game of the group, Poland. So I may change that, but I think Mike's right. The trouble, you do get that kind of hangover, don't you, after the international break, especially when it's a Wednesday, Saturday, which worries me that there's Mike's right. On paper, we should be seeing triple figures here, but I don't think it will happen.
I've got Cresswell on my bench as well. So do I help me out with this, lads? Do I go for Mings at home to Fulham or Cresswell away at Wolves?
Ooh.
Yeah, Wolves don't concede many goals, and Cresswell gets his points mainly from assists, doesn't he?
I'd go Mings.
Yeah. So Mings. Sorry, who's Mings playing again?
Fulham at home.
And Grealish should be back. He's
the other thing with Villa is they have just on a bit of a bad run, aren't they? And their fixtures coming up don't look great. I mean, this is about their most winnable game coming up, so it's probably now or never in terms of Villa assets, isn't it? And then a case of shipping them out pretty soon, I think.
I better justify having him there then, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring in Villa for the game. But if you've got them, then
Keep them.
Maybe one more week, especially if you've got a wild card. Okay, well, let's move to the next question then. Who would be your one transfer in this week? Looking at, like I said, there's some good fixtures there. Spurs have got Newcastle. So yeah, it's Villa, Fulham.
Good question. What about Rafinha of Leeds? I know he's selected now by probably more players than he ever has been, 16% now. But Leeds at home have been decent this season. Sheffield United, are so desperate they've now got Jason Tyndall involved with them. So it does feel like they are there for the taking. Oh, Sheffield United, they're just going through the motions now, aren't they? And Leeds, attacking wise, Rafinha seems to be involved in everything. Him, Bamford as well. I mean, there's no point plugging Bamford. Everyone's got Bamford, haven't they, Mike?
Yeah. Apart from
apart from you.
Yeah.
So
you and Gareth Southgate are the only two people in the country not to have.
Yeah.
It's weird. It is weird. So, but So Rafinha. I mean, I've got him already, but he would be somebody I would look to get in this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Phil?
Yeah,
I'd be trying to get in Chelsea players. I've got Mount and Rudiger. If I didn't have a wild card, when I wild card, I will end up with 3 Chelsea players. Probably Aspilicueta looks like the most nailed on starter, so probably him. So I would suggest if you haven't got some of those, then those. Is it windy, boys, in one of your houses?
It's certainly not in mine. I think maybe Anthony's got his microphone stuck up his nose.
is that better?
Yeah. The hurricane force winds appear to have dropped off.
Yeah.
Deep breathing. Sorry, guys.
That's right. So Chelsea, you were saying, Phil, and I agree. I'm tempted by Chelsea assets as well. If you look at their fixtures after this one, they have got West Brom at home this week, then Crystal Palace away. They then have a void game week, but they follow that up with West Ham and Fulham. So I quite like those fixtures, but I'm gonna go a bit left field. I'm gonna say go for Calvert-Lewin. I'm gonna say bring him in. Crystal Palace at home. He'll be buoyed by his goals on international duty. He's not going to start tonight, so he'll be rested.
Well, he's not even playing tonight, so he's definitely not starting.
You know that for sure, do you?
I don't know, but I feel big and clever saying it. I believe he's playing on Wednesday. Aren't we playing on Wednesday?
Oh yeah, you're right. I see what you mean. Gosh, yeah. But yeah, and they follow it up with a game at Brighton away next week. So yeah, DCL for me. I think you need to take after international breaks that into consideration. You certainly don't want players that have been flying off and playing in far-flung countries. DCL has been playing locally, and yeah, I expect him to be rested tomorrow night.
I'm surprised that this game's even going ahead against Poland, because Poland have got they've got cases of coronavirus in their team. Poland at the moment are like the UK was a couple of months ago, huge numbers of cases. So I'm surprised that the government's really allowing the game to go ahead. It seems a bit stupid considering everyone's in lockdown and everyone's limited to what they can do. Yeah, it seems a strange game to happen.
Feels like, well, as we know, boys, football's far more important than COVID, clearly.
It does appear that way. Let's move on to the next question. Talking of Polish people, would you rather have in your team a short Thomas Souček or a slow Jamie Vardy?
Oh, that's a nice question.
Well, that's a great question.
I mean, it's not really that helpful to listeners, but I'd be interested in your views.
Go on.
Oh, okay. I would still have Jamie Vardy for me. I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because a lot of his game is built around his pace and getting in behind defences, but in front of goal, you just trust him. So if he would have that chance, I would probably still go with that. Souček, a lot of it is built around his height, isn't it? His main attribute. So Vardy would get my vote.
Yeah, I mean Vardy, no matter how slow he is, he can still fall over in the box after the faintest of touches. So it's still going to win you a good proportion of penalties, and that's where a lot of his points come from. So yeah, I would go for Vardy over Souček.
What about you, Phil?
Although I like the idea of a little stumpy Souček.
Stumpy Souček.
I like
you
it.
do have, Phil.
I really like Souček. I like both of them as people actually, but I really like Souček. And I think he's actually better with his feet. It's a very Peter Crouch thing to say, but I think he's better with his feet than people give him credit for. So I would stick with Souček. I think a slow Jamie Vardy effectively takes away any danger. Yes,
Do you like Jamie Vardy? Do you like Jamie Vardy as a person?
Yeah, I love that he kept his cast on his wrist when clearly it must have healed up I mean, he had that cast on his wrist for about 8 months. My daughter broke her wrist last year, and it was off within about 4 weeks.
I don't know whether to credit him with patience in terms of his wife, or discredit him for poor taste. I'm not sure.
So you don't like him because of his wife?
Yes.
Okay. No.
I dislike him by association.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, it's kind of it's two against one.
It's the same reason I really like Ant. Because he's got a lovely wife.
If you say so, mate.
Oh dear.
And
right.
Might I say, you have a lovely wife also, because I know she listens.
Yep, I mean that's probably sensible considering seeing her at Christmas and family events.
Indeed.
Okay, next question. So sadly, a slow Thomas Souček is out of the team. Which team should we avoid for the run-in? Which teams are you not considering any of their players from?
Sheffield United, goes without saying. Villa, looking at their fixtures, would be another one. And I think probably Newcastle. Newcastle are in disarray at the moment, aren't they, boys?
Yeah, Wilson's not back for a bit.
Yeah, without Wilson, they don't score, do they? Really?
No.
And I think if Newcastle are going to stay up, it's going to be more because Fulham just can't catch them, rather than them actually being good enough to stay up. They are in free fall. And they've got Spurs at home as well this weekend.
If I may put a word in from my friends down at Crystal Palace, playing Everton away, Chelsea at home, Leicester away, Man City at home next 4. And then in the final clutch of games, they've also got to play Arsenal and Liverpool as well. So, and we know that traditionally they go off the boil. Palace. Always. They do a little bit like West Brom used to hit 40 points and then just kind of coast for the rest of the season. I see that at Palace quite a bit. So, I wouldn't be going anywhere near any Palace assets.
I think realistically, though, you'd only go probably near Zaha when you're in that Palace team, generally.
Yeah.
I can't think of too many other assets you'd potentially look at there anyway. So, yeah. Palace
If they
are
had
a
some,
weird
if they had
team.
some easy fixtures, I might go Eze. But the team for me, I'll be avoiding is City probably. I'm so wary of the fact that they've pretty much got the title sewn up, and they are fighting on three other fronts. Three other fronts that I think that he's going to be twisting and turning his team around. The only player I might have, and I might start every week, but not actually expect much from every week, is Mahrez. When he plays, he does well, and when he doesn't play, I don't know. I don't know how often he gets brought on as a sub for 5 minutes, but I would suggest maybe Mahrez.
It's a good
But,
chat.
but
I
apart
think
from that, I don't want any City.
I think everyone is well and truly over the whole pet roulette thing now, aren't they? They're getting pretty fed up with it.
What,
people
the feature on our
turning in and out.
the feature on our podcast? I don't think people were over that. I
Oh
think it was,
no!
yeah, I
They
think
were
it was
over that before.
outrageously ended up on the cutting room floor. But
I
that's fine.
don't know
But
how. I mean, it's just genius.
Phil's word was final. But yeah, I
These things happen.
bow to his superiority. I had a quick look at Palace. You were saying, outside of Zaha, who would people go for? And we play the fancy threesome punt, looking for players of under 2% ownership. But for 3 players, you could have anybody from their squad as a punt. So Mitchell at 11.9%, just because he's 3.8 mil. Zaha at 8.7, Guaita at 3%, and then everyone else is 1.5% or less.
Wow,
That's crazy.
there you
isn't
go.
it?
That says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't fancy them. Okay, let's move on then. Last question before we play a very good new quiz. What are your ultimate football watching snacks and sides?
Ooh.
Good packet of biscuits.
Really? Biscuits? What biscuits? That's vague.
Well, yeah. So the ones we just discovered at the moment are sticky toffee pudding flavour. It's like a hobnob with chocolate on, but it's sticky toffee flavour. Very nice it is too.
Sorry, just to be clear, just so listeners can go out and purchase these, are they actually hobnobs that are sticky toffee flavour, or are they just like a hobnob?
I think they're like their McVitie's type thing. It's not an actual hobnob branded biscuit.
I'll do the research for you because.
So what shop are you getting this from, Ant?
My local co-op. Very nice it was too. Put it right by the till just to tempt me in.
Is it a co-op zone?
Don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's
No.
McVitie's.
I can tell you now, they are McVitie's hobnobs, sticky toffee pudding flavour.
There we go. Okay. Exactly how I said, boys. They are incredible. Get those bad boys in your life.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
You seem so angry about it.
Well,
they're actually delicious. They're
I
honestly.
can't believe you've gone sweet. I mean,
Why?
fair enough. I think I'd definitely go for crisps and dip.
Really?
Or I'd go Domino's, but if I wasn't allowed, or
Domino's isn't a snack though.
In.
It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
a snack, Phil.
Okay, I'm really sorry. So Walker's Max, and they used to do them. I hope they haven't discontinued them, but I haven't seen them for a while. Chili and lime, they're really good with a sour cream dip.
Okay.
If they have discontinued them, then go for there's like a jalapeno and cheese one they do. That again, same dip.
Okay. Yeah.
Mike, what's yours?
I'm a chip and dip man by tradition. Doritos chili heat wave with a sour cream dip.
Excuse me, America. What are you talking about? Chips.
Chip and dip, mate. Chip and dip.
Chip and Dale, the Rescue Rangers. I mean, don't say chip.
No.
Have you ever been to America?
No, I would like to go. I am saving.
Are you?
Just so I can, try some authentic chip and
dip. I am saving.
Anyway,
if I could just quickly interject on the biscuit front as well. I cannot see past a jam and cream. I don't know why anybody else would. If we're looking for biscuits, but how many biscuits do you eat of a match? And
I'm guessing
6 plus.
Oh, really? I was horrified when I first my wife and I, we weren't we didn't live together until we were married. So when we moved in, there were a number of things that we were equally horrified about each other. Really.
Hang on, I'll take a seat.
Yeah.
Your general personal hygiene.
Yeah, that was probably up there. But one of the things that horrified me about her is that I could nip out come back, and an entire packet of biscuits could be gone. And I think I'd only ever had like maybe a biscuit with a cup of tea before, never a whole packet. But for her, it was quite the norm. Just well, it's a packet of biscuits. You don't leave them any lying around. So yeah, whole packet of biscuits.
That's not normal. I don't think
not
that's normal. Because
That's quite excessive.
Why would you? I mean, I assume you've no need for a biscuit tin.
No, absolutely no need for a barrel. No, no, just wolf the whole lot down.
I do like a juicy bourbon.
I think she sees it like a bag of crisps. Do you know what I mean? Packet of biscuits.
Mm.
The only biscuits I can do that with are rich teas if I have multiple cups of tea to dunk them in.
Oh gosh, I was going to say that's very dry. A whole packet of that.
Yeah, that's very drab. Yeah.
Well, I love a chocolate rich tea, but McVitie's discontinued them many years ago.
Oh, bad times.
Well, this portion of the show has been brought to you by McVitie's.
It hasn't, for legal reasons. It hasn't, but you are right. Okay, so let's move into a very exciting quiz that I've prepared for you boys. I won the Fantasy Threesome punt last game week by going for Jared Bowen, which means I don't have any risk of a listener picking my captain. That listener will be Craig Richards, who also went for Jared Bowen. So Craig will be picking one of your captains. Okay. So I've got 9 players, and I am going to go through one player at a time, the teams they have played for. After each team, you will both be allowed a guess, and whoever shouts their name first can guess first, and the person who gets the most right will win, and the loser will get their captain picked by Craig. Do we all understand?
I understand, and I absolutely love it. And I can say here now, yeah, with confidence, I feel like this is in the bag. But before we play it, do the players, is there anything like that they have in common? Is there any clue as to the players other than the clubs that they played for?
They're available on Fantasy Premier League this season.
Ah, right. Okay, so current players. Okay, great.
Current players,
so
yeah.
Just to clarify, you're going to say a team they've played for, and at that point, we can just take a guess.
Yeah, and then I'll say the next team. And you can...
Is it in chronological order that you're naming their teams?
I will do that because otherwise I will literally have no chance.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
so the first player, are you ready? The first player.
Oh, wait, sorry. How do we do this in terms of guessing?
So shout your name if you.
Cool.
If you want to go first. Okay. So the first player played for Tranmere Rovers.
Mike.
Okay, Mike.
I would say I'm a bit nervous of people driving and me just shouting and them having to veer off the road. Play for Tranmere Rovers. Ben Davies.
Incorrect. Anthony, any guesses?
I would say Jason Kumas, but he's kind of not available this season.
Jason Kumas.
Okay, so he went from Tranmere Rovers to Ipswich Town. Okay, I can give you the next team if you want. Okay, you're both timed out of that round. So the next team he went from Ipswich Town to West Ham United.
Ipswich to West Ham.
Marlon Hayward. What? Ipswich to West Ham?
No.
Okay, boys. He is still currently at West Ham. I can give you more clues. Okay. He signed for West Ham in 2014.
Oh gosh.
Have a guess, boys. Someone have a guess.
This is tough.
No, I've got no idea.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
All right, no, okay. I know. Do you know who it is? I know who it is. Bagsy, got it. Aaron Cresswell.
Correct.
Yes. Oh, I was going to say that, but I didn't think he'd play for Tranmere.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Okay, so Mike, keep your own score. So you're on 1.
It's very easy to do. Yeah.
Okay. The next one then.
To help me keep score, you just need to remember how many questions you've done.
That
will be my score.
I can do that. Okay. So I'm just going to have to. I don't know how.
Handbrake off your car, then, Phil.
No, I hit the handbrake with my phone, which I dropped on it. Okay. I don't know how we're recording because my internet on my laptop has completely gone. I can't access any web pages. but I'm assuming you can still
yeah,
hear me.
yeah, you're still very much active.
So I'll have to do it on my phone. So bear with me just one moment. Right, okay. So the next player then, he played at Grenoble.
Chernobyl.
Grenoble.
I was going to say, how
He
is
won't
he
have much
still
fun there.
alive?
Yeah, not much of an atmosphere at Chernobyl.
Do you know what? I did watch a very good program about Chernobyl with Ben Fogel the other day, boys.
Oh,
Have a little
Fogel in
watch.
Chernobyl. Right,
Is there
okay.
anything?
very
Is there
good.
anywhere that bloke won't go?
Money, no.
Okay, so sorry, played for Grenoble.
Grenoble. Okay, I'll move on to the next one. He went on loan then to Istres. Istres.
And
Go on, Em.
Eric Dyer.
Incorrect.
Thomas Soucek.
Incorrect. Okay, he then went to play for Tours. Tours. Tours.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, no, nothing
No.
springing to
Okay,
my mind here.
He then went to Montpellier.
oh, now we're cooking. Montpellier. Oh, well, I'll go Lacazette.
Incorrect.
Joey Barton.
I mean, you've got a few issues with your knowing who's current and who's not, mate. Okay. After that, he went back to Tours on loan.
Oh yeah, they do say never go back, but he made the right choice. I'll go for
Stop Googling, Mike.
N'Golo Kante.
Incorrect. Anthony?
No guess.
He then went to Arsenal.
Oh,
Put a name on it, boys. Put a name on it.
And
go.
Gabrielle.
Incorrect.
oh, dreams can come true, but not in this case. I will. It's a shame actually. She could have been a really good footballer. She's got a real eye for a goal.
Brilliant.
I will. Oh, hello. Sorry, wait there. You made your guesses, Fran, surely.
What? He didn't say it
Okay.
was. I thought it was
Are they
unlimited guesses.
Wait there, are they still at Arsenal?
Well, that's not. I mean, it's not a question where it's not a situation where you get to ask me questions.
Okay, well, I'm going to assume they're not still at Arsenal then. And I'll go for David Luiz. That's not
Incorrect. Incorrect because he is at Arsenal.
yeah. Oh yeah, they're a good shout.
Although ironically, the next club he played for was Chelsea.
Oh, and
Yes.
Giroud.
Yes, he's back in the game.
Oh, just tell me the points because that's how many I'll have.
Oh, darn it.
Get in.
Yeah,
Okay.
nicely done, Anthony. Nicely done there, mate.
There we go. Let's put a cat amongst the pigeons, isn't it?
Well done,
So-
Anthony.
You now know a bit more about him. Okay. Next up then, first team they played for was Darlington.
Gabbiadini.
Incorrect.
Which Gabbiadini?
He's just shouting names on
There's
chat,
no
man.
Gabbiadinis that play in the Premier League anymore.
Oh, I know. I'm just joking. I'm just.
Okay, next club.
Hold on. I know. No, I haven't finished. Matty Longstaff.
No, you have to be
Okay.
quicker than that, Mike.
right,
Fulham.
okay.
Fulham.
Darlington, Fulham. No.
No guess
No.
for me.
Yeovil.
Oh my good grief. That's a
On,
backwards
on
step.
loan. On loan.
No guess for me.
No.
Birmingham City.
Jesse Lingard.
Incorrect.
Oh, that was exciting.
Anthony?
No guess for me. No guess for me.
Wigan. Permanent
Birmingham,
move. Permanent move to Wigan.
Wigan.
Kieran, someone.
No.
No,
And-
it doesn't start with Kieran.
No, can't think of anybody.
He went to Brighton.
From where? From Wigan. Dan
Oh,
Burn.
Can you get a name, please? Anthony?
Mike Dabburn.
Anthony had his hand up. Anthony?
Dan Burn.
Correct.
No! You
The rules are rules. Mike, the rules are rules.
I was genuinely going to say that.
You were not going to say that.
I promise you. I promise you I was.
You know the rules. I explained them clearly at the start. You can't just shout out names.
Look at his
Never
little
in a
face.
month of Sundays were you going to say Dan
I
Byrne.
promise you I was 100%.
I guess
Wow.
we'll never know, but
I know.
one
I'm
thing sure,
genuine.
Ant knows the rules.
This is unbelievable.
So
Do what?
next up then, Sunderland.
I mean, that's a lot of people.
Danny Rose.
Mike, you've just lost out by playing this foolish game where you don't say a name.
Mike, Danny Rose.
No.
No guess from me. No
Okay,
guess.
next club, Coventry City. On loan.
Oh.
No guess.
Oh, Mike, John Fleck.
Incorrect.
Oh,
But lovely to hear his name.
thank you.
No, Ant?
No guess from me.
Okay, next he went to Liverpool.
Cov to Liverpool.
Well, he's at Cov on loan
Oh, sorry, I missed that bit. Okay.
during his spell at Sunderland.
Sunderland to. Oh.
No.
Ant.
Yep.
Henderson.
Correct.
Oh no!
And why did it take you so long to work out your name?
Sorry. Well, I didn't want to fall foul of the same thing that Mike just did.
Mike, that was an easy one.
I was going to say Henderson as well.
Oh, no, you weren't. That's about Sunday.
Benek. So have I lost now?
No,
Is
no,
that
it's only 3-1. There's 9 players.
Oh, first to 5. Play on. Right.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
Game
Okay,
on.
so the next player then, he started his career at Tottenham Hotspur. Prepare yourself for a long list of clubs.
No guess from me.
No guess from me at the moment.
Yeovil Town. They've had a few players, Yeovil.
No.
No.
Leighton Orient. These are all loans.
Oh, Ant.
No.
Yes,
Oh,
Ant?
no.
Harry Kane.
Incorrect. Milton Keynes Dons.
Ugh.
Mike. Dele
Yes.
Alli.
Incorrect.
Oh, I thought you had that. That was a good shout.
He went to Ipswich.
MK Dons to Ipswich.
Not MK Dons to Ipswich. MK Dons was a loan, and so was
Okay.
Ipswich.
Okay,
There
no,
are
that's not-
another 5 loans.
Carry on.
Good grief. I had more clubs than Tiger Woods.
Watford.
Okay.
Millwall.
Patrick Bamford. Mike, Patrick Bamford.
Nope. I mean, that would just be too obvious if I did Patrick Bamford.
Yeah, he was at Chelsea as well, to be fair.
Although, Leeds United.
Oh, dearie me. Oh, Ant.
Yep.
Ailing.
No. Birmingham City.
Mike, Gary Gardner.
No. QPR.
Is this loan still?
Still on loan. He's just about to make a
Good
permanent
grief.
move. He's making a
Good
permanent
grief.
move to Newcastle.
Wow.
Tottenham to Newcastle. Tottenham to Newcastle.
No, I still can't think of anyone at the moment. Not with
Right.
all those loans.
He played 13 games at Newcastle and then went to Crystal Palace.
Oh.
Tottenham, Newcastle, Crystal Palace. Tottenham, Newcastle, Crystal Palace.
No.
No.
He is now still at Crystal Palace. He has played.
Okay.
He's played for England 13 times, scoring 3 goals.
Has he?
He has.
It must be Johnny Evans if we're talking about England.
Oh, I know. Mike.
Yes,
It's Andros Townsend.
it is Andros Townsend.
Very good.
Yes.
He's back in the game.
Yes.
Very good. I would not have got that.
Good job that
Okay.
I still have
Probably
my
wouldn't
Crystal
have got
Palace.
that in a month of Sundays.
Good job that I still have my Crystal Palace stats up on my screen. Absolute relief.
Wow, 3-2.
Okay, prepare yourself. I will rattle through these slightly faster because I appreciate this game is taking over the podcast. Bury Town.
Bury Town?
Yes, I do mean Bury Town.
Okay. I'm going to say no. This one.
Charlton Athletic.
No.
No,
Harrow Borough on loan.
Flipping heck.
no,
No.
Welling United. Cambridge United. Aldershot Town and York City all on loan.
No.
no.
Then goes to Bury on loan.
Cool, he's been around the houses. This
Mm.
feels like a Burnley or a Sheffield United player. John Egan.
No, and
No, no guess for me.
Burnley. Interestingly enough, Mike.
Mike J. Rodriguez.
Incorrect.
And Tarkowski.
Incorrect. He is still at Burnley and currently he's not scored for them.
And
Yes.
Cork.
Incorrect.
No. Cork.
Cork
Yeah.
was at Bournemouth.
Swansea, Southampton,
Chelsea.
Bournemouth,
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Yeah, good point.
Burnley.
Not scored for them. And
Yes.
oh no, I've just changed my mind.
Mike
Okay.
Ben Mee.
Incorrect.
He scored. I was going to say that.
Okay, he has represented England 6
Mike.
times
Mike
and
Tom
not
Pope.
scored. Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Very good.
No, incorrect. And
What?
you get
What?
a guess.
What you
What?
just said? Yes.
No, it's incorrect. Sorry.
But he
Mike.
has represented England 6 times and not scored. And he
Yeah.
plays for Burnley.
Tom Pope is not the name of a professional player in this game. Tom Pope was on Champman 97-98.
Oh, Mike.
Mike, it's not Mike.
Oh,
You've got-
Nick Pope. Nick Pope.
Anthony, yes, Nick Pope. I'm afraid that's
That is absolutely disgusting. Oh, Tom Pope of Port Vale. I'm furious.
Tom Pope of Port Vale. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. I'm so sorry about that. He's yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Yeah,
Wow,
he's still,
this
still
is,
at Port Vale. So 4-2. So Ant, this would win it. Mike, you've
Wow.
you've got to do better than that.
Just got
Yeah.
to put it into the open goal, really.
Okay. You've set him up twice now, Mike.
Okay, yes, I have.
He's a very generous soul, old Mike.
Mm.
Okay. So started his career at AC Milan. Remember this one to win it, so it's worth taking some
Actually do.
guesses.
AC Milan, Lacazette.
Incorrect.
And Aubameyang.
Oh, he's done it.
Mate. Unbelievable.
Yes, that was just a complete guess. Get in.
Well.
Oh wow.
Oh, this is a soundbite for next week, isn't it, boys?
Oh, well, I've got no doubt whatsoever that Craig Richards?
Craig Richards, yeah.
Well, Craig Richards is watching along now, and I've got no doubt, Craig. I'm going to look to camera. Craig, you've got this, okay? You're going to pick me a good captain, and everything's going to be great.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
that's kind of creepy.
Aubameyang's. I mean, you getting Aubameyang on AC Milan is pretty impressive, considering he was at AC Milan but never played for them.
I know my stuff, boys. What can I say?
He then went on to the home of not so good mustard, Dijon, and then went to Lille, Monaco, Saint Etienne, Borussia Dortmund, and Arsenal. Well, fun game. And Mike, you shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, very much so. Not for the first time this season, falling from a great height that I put myself on. So, yeah.
I'll level with you. I enjoyed that far more than I expected.
It's a game. It's a game, actually, that we've revived off the back of journeys to away games. We used to quite often play that in the back of cars.
Oh.
Lads, I cannot tell you how much I'm looking forward to going to an away day.
Oh.
I was only saying this to my wife. She stopped. She put the packet of biscuits down for a minute for me to tell her that. Yeah, I really cannot wait for us to go on an away day.
Oh, yeah, me too. Oh, I do miss those days.
I'd just like to go on a long journey anywhere with you guys and a bit of music quiz, football quiz. Good times.
Yeah.
I mean, the listeners don't need to hear this. So let's get back to the listeners' questions then. Okay.
There's more. Beautiful news.
Yeah. Which 3 players are you having in your team for the whole run-in? Who's the most essential 3 players?
I'll kick this off. I'm going to go Azpilicueta, Wan-Bissaka, and Fernandes would be my 3. Probably 3 assets I've had it. Well, I mean, Azpilicueta I bought in as soon as Tuchel came in, and I think I saw a stat the other day. They've only conceded 2 goals, I think, or something ridiculous like that in the Premier League under Tuchel. They've been ridiculously good at the back. So Azpilicueta is an absolute nailed on to start. Wan-Bissaka as well has done well. He's had a few assists behind him, and Fernandes as well as somebody I've bought in about halfway through, and I would be keeping faith with him as well.
Okay.
You boys?
I'm gonna go looking at the fixtures that we've kind of highlighted are in favour of particular teams. I'm gonna go for Harry Kane, Tom Pope, and Mason Mount.
Oh dear.
Mason Mount.
Okay.
Just because I think of fixtures, I think all 3 of those will start every week or near enough every week. I do wonder if the rumours around Kane leaving are going to impact on him. We've seen it with many other players down the years where, there's speculation about their futures and it does knock on into their game. So we'll see. But yeah, those 3 for me.
Okay. Yeah, mine's kind of hybrid of both of yours. I got Mount, Kane, and Rudiger, who actually, watching him play, he's playing incredibly well. I would say he's undroppable, which may well be a horrendous soundbite. But he's playing very well.
He wasn't getting a look in under Lampard.
No, he was ready to go.
Like Republica. Ready to go. I think that could be our sing out track, Phil. You've just
Get ready.
you've prompted it.
Rudiger did score the greatest own goal this season as well this year, and also the way Mike pronounced his name earlier in the
Rougier.
Rougier was quite beautiful. So
I was going to prepare a ukulele walkout song. It was going to be "Walk Away" by Cast, and it was all going to be about Mo Salah. But since I've had a change of heart, looked at Liverpool's fixtures and think, well, I've come this far, I may as well just keep him. So
it's kind of that point, isn't it? If you haven't dropped him by now, you might be after the horses bolted.
Liverpool's fixtures look so good, and I mean, I don't know if there's a question that covers this, but a player that I will be bringing in, and you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But he's got something to prove now. Is Trent, because Southgate dropped him, and I imagine if he's dropped him, Southgate will have said to him, "Look, if you want to be in the squad, you really need to have a great last, 8 games of the season, 9 games of the season, whatever it is." So I'll be getting in Trent, and that'll be completely ruining the balance in my team. But I don't care now. I want Trent. Okay, next question then. Which players are past their best, and should we be shoveling out if we haven't already?
That's really difficult because so many players are past their best in terms of early season form. Which players are past their best? Because we've talked at length, haven't we, about likes of Salah. What about Fernandes, boys?
Yeah, he's not been in great form, has he?
He's not. I mean, I've just said I'd keep him in, but yeah, he's someone we've thought this a couple of times, and just as he's on the verge, well, he's just in a bit of a bad rut. He seems to pull it around, doesn't he? Somehow, he's always penalties. That's the thing. United do get quite a lot of penalties, and that would be reason enough. I mean, I think Phil, you made a great shout earlier with Man City assets. Is now the time to get rid of them? We can't even trust people like Stones, Gundogan, Sterling, and the like are going to start every week. I mean, this week I've got both of them sat on my bench away at Leicester because you just don't know who he's going to play week on week, game on game. So they may not be past their best, but Pep treats them like they are.
Statistically, if you look at form in terms of recent form, 2 standouts are Cavani and Sterling in terms of the amount of money you're going to have to invest in either of them to have them in your team. Almiron, whilst not costing a lot of money.
Everyone's going to shovel Almiron out, are they? I mean, they'll be heartbroken.
Well, if I look at ownership of Almiron, I don't think it's actually that bad. But he's talking about he wants to go and play for a club where 0.4%. I wouldn't worry, guys. Let's move on.
To all 0.4% of listeners, get rid.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I owned him last season, so I shouldn't laugh. Okay, here's a question, probably more for you, Mike.
Oh yeah.
you are forced to either play Brewster, who's gone down to 4.3 million now, in your team for the rest of the season, or walk down the street proclaiming your love for Matt Hancock. What do you do?
I'd pick Bamford ahead of Matt Hancock. Don't want to get too political here, but there is every chance I could change my mind. Should he? I don't know. Maybe there's a PPE contract he wants to hand me. I'm open to changing my mind, Matt, and declaring my love for you.
Oh gosh, you yeah, you got no. Yeah, I would go Brewster.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Already got Bamford. Okay. Is it time to get off Villa? If
Not
you
yet.
haven't already, we kind of discussed this, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Sit
did
tight.
cover this. Sit tight for now.
When do the fixtures turn, Mike? I can't access the internet.
Oh, that's all right. I can tell you now. So they've got
Or have they turned?
Well, they've pretty much turned. So you've got Fulham at home this weekend, then Liverpool away, then no game. West Brom at home, which might be worth holding out for. Everton away, where they've got a decent record, but then look out. Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, Everton, Man City.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, from game week 35 onwards, it looks nasty.
Yeah. Even with Grealish, do you reckon he could turn their tide?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's one of those that we talked about form versus fixtures, and players, good players do still score points against tough opposition, don't they?
Yeah.
So maybe Grealish is one of those exceptions that you might consider, but yeah, I don't think he's going to make a huge difference in terms of results.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm agreed on that, to be honest. And the last question sent in: how many West Ham do you go with for the rest of the season? They are cheap. They're on form. They've got a lot of assets which you could pick from: Souček, Lingard. They've got Kufal,
Dawson,
great shout. Who's somehow only 30 years old. Or is he? Yeah, he's only 30, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only 30.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, Souček's arguably the find of the season, isn't he? Keeps popping up with goals. I mean, people who got him in early, what a move that was, because he's been brilliant for West Ham this season. I've only got Cresswell personally, and I'd look to get more in, but I wouldn't know who to ship out. I'm pretty happy with my team at the moment. It's fairly settled, but yeah, I think you've covered the ones to look at there, Phil. I mean, West Ham have been arguably the team of the season, the surprise package of the season, certainly. For sure.
I mean, I've got triple West Ham, so I have got Dawson, I've got Lingard, and I've got Cresswell. So I'm probably going to keep hold of them because they're not costing me a huge amount of money. It's a bit sticky over the next few weeks. Wolves, Leicester, Newcastle, Chelsea. So bit of a mixed bag. But they then play Burnley, Everton, and they finish with Brighton, West Brom, Southampton.
That's decent, isn't it?
So maybe swap out your Villa assets for West Ham come week 35.
Yeah, that's a good call. Old David Moyes, he's done a great job after being a laughing stock for so long. I'm pretty pleased for him, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm pretty pleased for Lingard. Yeah, that's been a great loan move for him. I thought it was quite interesting in the England game the other day. He could have had about 5 goals, but he must have left his shooting boots at West Ham, I think. But no, it's been a good move for him, and a shrewd one by West Ham as well.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, boys. Well, that is the questions over and done with. So, who are your punts this week? Before we get on to any other business,
I'll go first, just in case either of you have.
Well, I don't have internet, and I've only got one player on my screen that I can choose from. But
go on then, Phil. Fire away.
I got Pulisic.
Oh,
that's okay. That's right. Flying back from America, where he's been playing Jamaica. I'm sure he'll be in fine form. You can have him.
You got Tom Pope.
No. I've got Christensen.
Okay.
Christensen of Chelsea, who is exceptional value and is getting a real run in the team.
Yeah, and he's on form, actually, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those Chelsea assets that's actually playing week in, week out.
Yeah. No, I'd go with him. So, well, in fact, I am going with him. And
I've just gone to the first player that I can find who's got 2% ownership, and that is Semedo of Wolves.
Sorry, you've gone to the first person you can find.
Well, yeah. Did you not hear what I just said? I'd gone for Pulisic as well.
Oh, had you? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's why. But actually, yeah, having
Tomato of wolves.
yeah, there you go, boys. Again, soundbite this if he does something this weekend. That'd be lovely stuff.
And why don't you give an impassioned plea to Semedo to get you some
That'd be
points?
nice. Yeah.
Well, he's in top form.
No. You need to tell him this.
Oh, shall I do it to the camera just like Mike did?
Yeah.
All creepily.
Yeah.
Semedo, I believe in you. You are going to be my punt winner this week. Can see a corner coming in. Big head at the back post. Job done. Thank you very much. You're the man, Semedo. There you go.
Oh, is that the sort of motivational pep talk you give Corf Mullen under 11s?
Under 10s to be precise.
Under 10s.
Absolutely. And
At the hairs on the back of my neck were standing up.
This is what has seen us have such good form this season before lockdown, was those inspirational speeches. So there you go, boys.
And unbeaten since lockdown as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, boys, any other business? Anything you've done that's exciting in this international break?
No. I did play 5-a-side football last night, which was lovely. When I say played, I was certainly there, and the ball hit me a couple of times. That was really lovely. But other than that, not a lot's been happening. Actually, no, I will quickly say I've got a bit of a competition going on at the moment, a bit of a rivalry building with some of the other stadium announcers up and down the country. With regards to because we're in the stadium and there's no one else there. Normally, I'd be on the pitch and I'd be watching around.
You should say you're a stadium announcer at Bournemouth.
I feel like I say that every week, but yeah, I'm a stadium announcer at Bournemouth. Sorry, at the Vitality Stadium. Actually, it's not the Vitality Stadium, as I was told when we first took on the sponsorship agreement. It's Vitality Stadium. So please, Mike, don't use the. But yeah, at Vitality Stadium, I'm the stadium announcer, and there's a bit of a rivalry building up. Because normally we'd be on the pitch or we'd be running around doing stuff, but actually our jobs are a lot simpler at the moment, and we're playing some music and announcing the lineups to the press, and if a goal is scored, we celebrate it. But that's about it. So you're there for hours beforehand. I have to get there 4 hours before kickoff to check everything's working and get set. So we've been ordering food in, all us announcers up and down the country. So I had a lovely Chinese banquet last time out. Open to any suggestions for this coming Good Friday. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff, so I'm looking sort of a 1:30, 2 o'clock arrival for my lunch. So yeah, any suggestions welcome. Do get in touch.
I would suggest biscuits.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do some toffee, sticky pudding,
stuff.
Hobnobs.
Mike, I can't believe you were going to go without telling everyone about your newfound love of Formula One.
Yeah. So these boys are Formula One nuts, and mentioned to me there was a Formula One fantasy thing, which I'm all things fantasy. I'm interested. So you can cut that.
Baby D.
Edit out.
Yeah. And so I gave it a go, and I managed to beat Phil, but it was still one of the most painful weekends of my life. It was just tedious, and then I came off watching the race and went on social media, and it was a wash with people going, wow, one of the best races ever. Which, if that is one of the best races ever, I'm out of here.
Drive to Survive on Netflix, mate. Have you watched it yet?
I saw a clip on Gogglebox.
Excellent. I mean, you should watch episode 9 when they talk about the Grosjean crash last season.
They did on Gogglebox.
Yeah.
But you actually watch it. I mean, Gogglebox doesn't show the whole thing. Anyway, yeah, I was disappointed that you beat me. And Ant beat me because my driver had a crash at the start, which wasn't ideal. But it's good fun. If anyone's doing that, send us a message. I know there's some leagues that we've joined, Buddies League and Fantasy Premier League, Formula One Fantasy League. It's good fun. But anyway, back to this. So our punts were Pulisic for me, Semedo, of course, and Mike, you went for a defender. Christensen. There we go. Well, boys, thank you. It's been a lovely podcast. Lovely to see you all again. And
your lovely hair.
Bring on the hairdressers opening up. Yeah. Mike, you're going to see us out, are you?
I'm going to see us out with a song that you inspired earlier. And it was, I believe it was a Football League track. Once upon a time. Ready to go. Actually, this is quite apt for you, Phil, at the start. I'll dedicate the first lines to you. You're weird.
in tears, too far and far away.
VAR?
He said something so red. Went home, stayed in bed all day. Your t-shirt,
You
it's
Jamaican?
dish dirt. Always love
Is it
the
Matt
one,
Hancock?
you hurt, yeah. It's a crack, I'm back, yeah, I'm standing on the rooftop, shouting out, baby, I'm ready to go. I'm
Good
back
grief.
and ready to go.
No wonder your wife
Wait.
eats biscuits.
From the
Yeah,
rooftop,
I'd eat biscuits.
shout it
Yeah.
out,
Right.
shout it out.
We're all ready to go. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for that. Boys, take care and hope your cold goes away soon, mate.
Thank you, mate. Man,
Bye
food,
now.
I love you, mate.
Thank you for listening. If you want to leave us a review on Apple, please do, because there's about 2 reviews on there. One of them says, I like all the loud noises in the background. So-
You don't get more glowing than that.
exactly. Subscribe, watch, listen. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a great week. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
It's a crack, I'm back, yeah, I'm standing on the rooftop, shouting out, baby, I'm ready to go. I'm